Direct bookings. The better your book becomes, the higher your chances of getting direct bookings. A direct booking refers to the client booking the model without the need for castings or go-sees. The client books you as a model solely based on your said card and book. This means you can directly get great campaigns, even as a new face. If your agency has an international presence, big advertising agencies and brands can discover your portfolio as well. Direct bookings, like regular bookings, take you to the most beautiful places all over the world. The difference is that there's no waiting for the client's decision. That's why direct bookings are highly desirable for models. It's worth it for you, as a young model, to diligently work on your book. With a good model portfolio, you not only have good chances of getting direct bookings, but your chances of being booked in castings also increase when you have a strong book with you. Casting. For models, castings are the most normal thing in the world. They are held for fashion shows, commercials, or online shops. Especially for many big jobs and campaigns, a casting is required by the client. Competent individuals such as photographers or people from the purchasing, sales, and marketing departments evaluate which model perfectly fits the envisioned look of the campaign. For very large castings, casting agencies are also hired. Casting appointments are scheduled in two ways. Either so that as many models as possible can participate, or so that only a pre-selected group of models takes part. The higher the quality of the job, the more exclusive the pre-selection is. Only the best agencies get the best jobs to ensure that only absolutely professional models participate in the casting. Generally, castings are mostly located centrally, usually in large cities with a population of 1 million or more. This is where the major agencies are based. For this reason, it is worthwhile for models to move to the big cities sooner or later. The appointments can also take up a lot of time. Castings often last for several hours. If there are still 30 models ahead of you in line, it takes a long time. As a model, you quickly get used to spending time on your smartphone. Here, you learn to wait patiently. Many models also study for school or university while waiting for jobs or castings. E-castings are much more convenient. They are also scheduled for larger jobs. Let's take a look at the different types of castings. Types of castings. In general, castings can be divided into two categories: live castings and e-castings. In e-castings, models submit a self-recorded video after a pre-selection process, which is made according to specific guidelines. This saves a lot of travel, costs, and organization. Your modeling agency will provide you with a detailed casting briefing and instructions in advance. You make your casting video and send it to your agency. Live castings are more demanding. Model castings typically bring together a large number of different people, not just your own team and models. Large castings also attract many assistants in the rooms or editors from magazines. Here, you also have to perform tasks, from delivering a rehearsed text to acting and dancing. Go-sees, on the other hand, are the shortest form of evaluation. Regardless of the type of casting you participate in, every model naturally wants to get the job, and every model has a good model book. Despite all the competition, shining with self-confidence and charisma, without nervousness, is a real challenge for young models. Go-see with clients. At go-sees, you have to catch or impress people with limited means, just like during your first go-see at your agency. This is the fastest version of live casting. Clients, for example, use a quick go-see for a fashion show or the next showroom with customers. During castings, the goal is always to show a natural image of yourself. Therefore, you have to refrain from wearing makeup and styling at castings. At go-sees, your appearance, measurements, and look are the only factors that count. You have only a few seconds to convince. During a go-see, the live impression matters more than your model book. Therefore, it is important to be perfectly prepared. From arriving punctually at the location to wearing appropriate clothing. And don't forget to have a smile on your lips and give a friendly greeting. Another tip: if you meet multiple people, choose someone who is responsive to you. Many good models continuously focus their gaze on the attentive jury members. So, if someone likes you and smiles at you while two others seem less interested, primarily focus on the person who likes you. P.S. When standing in front of the jury, one thing is important: do not shake hands with the jury. Not everyone likes shaking hands with 30, 40, or 50 people. Castings for big clients are truly mass events. Especially for newcomers, large castings are always a reality check. From 20 to 200 models, castings are a real competition. Here, as a model, you also realize that there are indeed many attractive, perfectly built, talented, and likable models, and that you are not the only model out there. If a fitting or job doesn't follow a go-see, don't be discouraged. Go-sees are usually for runway jobs and agency model castings. Here, it is possible to compare a large number of models within a relatively short period and form an opinion. Live casting. When you are offered live castings by your modeling agent, you have a good chance of getting the job. A recommendation for you as a model has already been made, and the client has already made their own pre-selection. With an invitation, you have already passed the first pre-selection round. Since live castings take a lot of time and money, only models who have already convinced the client through photos are invited. The client now wants to get a personal impression of you. During live castings, you have the opportunity to show more of yourself. Acting talent is often required, whether for fashion shoots where you act as best friends or commercials with scripted lines and roles. For example, a shoe manufacturer might want you to speak to a pair of shoes for 2 minutes and tell the shoe about your day. Another may want to see 5 sports poses from you in 10 seconds. At the next casting, you have to have fun, early in the morning, as if you were at a high-class party and just wanted to dance. As a model, you must be able to spontaneously demonstrate all of this in a casting at any time. E-casting. When you participate in an e-casting, it often involves even bigger campaigns. For example, when an international company is looking for new faces for their advertising, the castings are conducted worldwide. Often in the major cities of each country, sometimes throughout Europe, or even worldwide. Your modeling agency will provide you with very precise instructions on how to create the video. The quality of the video does not play a major role; speed and submission by the deadline are more important. Perfect lighting or an expensive camera are not decisive factors. Models often have to make videos at short notice or in between jobs. That means you introduce yourself and show, as described above, for example, acting performances. The video is then sent to the client as a one-take, without editing, allowing them to make a pre-selection. E-castings are often scheduled for large and/or international campaigns, as well as for commercials, photo shoots, and more. Both time and money are saved through e-castings. The final selection is then booked directly or invited to a regular casting, not always, but sometimes for larger jobs in the 5-digit range. Casting preparation. How do you prepare for a model casting? In a go-see or live casting, it's all about quickly convincing the client. Usually, the goal is to move on to the next round or to get selected for a fitting. For a go-see or live casting, basic preparation is often sufficient. Before diving into the specifics of your casting, you should first make sure to know and have your basics in order: plain clothing, no styling. For women, this means a white top, black plain pants, and a bikini or nude-colored underwear. Regardless, the clothing should be form-fitting so that the jury can get a direct impression of you. It also includes wearing high heels that you put on just before the casting. Makeup and styling should be completely avoided. Men should also wear black pants and a white shirt. Men should also refrain from styling. Additionally, bring your model book. If you have already done your first photo shoots as a model, your agency may have printed SED cards, which you should always bring with you. You can usually get printed SED cards in major cities like the Big Four. When you're in front of the jury, you should leave your SED card with them. This way, they can easily remember your face during the later selection process. Your book is always advantageous, so bring it with you. While you may not get to use your model portfolio in every casting, go-see, the client usually takes a few seconds to flip through the first few pages of your book. Briefing and information. Before you go to a casting, your agency will provide you with the exact address. Always plan your trip in advance to avoid surprises on the way and to be punctual for the client. This brings us back to the importance of punctuality mentioned at the beginning of the book. Professional models stand out by having good route planning, which allows the client and agency to rely on you and your punctuality. Trust always pays off for you as a model. Also, make sure to get enough sleep so that you can start the day refreshed. Grab a small snack before the casting to maintain your energy levels. Now you know exactly what is expected of you at Go-Sees and castings. With the right preparation, your chances of success increase. That means being well rested, well prepared, punctual, and having all the necessary clothing items as well as promotional materials, set card and model book. The process is always the same. You enter the room, there is a jury somewhere, you introduce yourself, wait for instructions. At the end, you thank them politely and leave the room. The more castings you attend, the more opportunities you have for good jobs such as photoshoots, advertising campaigns, and more. In the next chapter, we'll take a behind-the-scenes look at modeling agencies. How do inquiries work? What is the selection process like? Inquiries, scouting, and booking procedures. Here you'll see once again how important it is to cooperate well. Thank you for listening to this chapter of the Model Book. Follow the podcast and embark on a captivating journey into the world of modeling. Hosted by model agency owner Stefan Chaya, this podcast provides aspiring models with comprehensive insights, expert advice, and practical tips to pursue their dreams. Tune in, unlock your full potential, and leave a 5-star review if you find our podcast inspiring. Together, let's make your modeling dreams a reality.